Show him that we can win too. Like Jaden when he had full power. Hit him with the mass change. Yeah, I'm the lawyer. Greg is the devour. Heroes, now it's our turn to show you that.
Yugi peoples, welcome to the discussion video. Yeah. So, all right, this will be me talking about the Houston Regional. I'm pretty sure y'all have probably seen some of the posts from Team Portal and different things inside of the Hero group. It was probably the biggest Texas Regional that we've ever had. It was like 550 people, more than 550. I'm pretty sure they said like 560 people, and yeah, it ended up being like 10 rounds of Swiss. I actually did not stay for the whole tournament. I played 8 rounds, and being X3, since I couldn't place in top 8, I really didn't want to stay and finish out the rest of it, just to go X3. I'm pretty sure like top, 32 and stuff or whatever is cool. But, for a regional, I felt like if I couldn't get top 8, I didn't really care all that much. So, yeah, after I hit X3 going into round 9, I was just like, nobody else in the car that I had rode with had like a pretty good winning record. So we just decided to take off and go home because we had a 4-hour drive home. So, it is what it is. So, since I didn't get a chance to record any duels this week, it'll probably be like pretty much like all discussion videos throughout the week. And one of them was supposed to be the vlog video. Like, not only did I do bad in the tournament, but like the Sunday after we got back, we had like Jail Blaster War, with my son and, my friends and everything, just fam and friends. And I cannot find my little GoPro. So, yeah. I do not currently have the vlog footage. I'm gonna spend like the next 2 days looking for it, trying to find it, and hopefully I can get that out to y'all. Cause like it really sucks to lose that, but yeah, we're gonna look for that. So it'll be discussion videos this week. I'll play in a tournament on Wednesday. So the discussion on Thursday will be like what happened during that tournament and everything. Like so. Getting into it, I want to talk. This video will be like dedicated to the good things about what happened and everything. So the matchups that I won. My first round was against McConco, which I beat. Then I played against Trap Tricks, which I beat, and then I think third round is when I finally lost. I think like to MathMech or something like that. So my wins were pretty much I beat 2 Kashtira, I beat 2 Trap Tricks, and 1 McConco. So those were the 5, and then I had 3 losses, and we'll talk about those in the other video. Um, so yeah, McConco was definitely like a very different deck, but because he made me go first, I figured that he was playing kaijus because I was just like, most people who make you go first are playing kaiju. So I made it very, very specific to be able to set up a board with at least like 3 interruptions on the board. And so I ended with because I drew the Fusion Destiny, I ended up with Extra Hero Dread Decimator up there with Plasma, DPE, and Dystopia. Because I was just like, I want to be able to pop something because I know that like most of the stuff in the McConco deck goes off of them having a McConco monster on the board. And yeah, so it actually turned out to be the right decision. Like going into it, I didn't know he was playing McConco, but when it came down to him starting to do and play cards, I was like, oh, this is McConco. And I remember trying to mix this with my hero stuff, and I was like, oh, they need a McConco monster to be on board. So as soon as one hit the board, pop it. So he did Gamma Seal my DPE, I believe. And yeah, but like the Dystopia was able to keep him from getting that game. So, that combined with the Extra Hero Dread Decimator to make sure that he gets the attack boost to be able to, have more attack than his original attack, helped a lot. So then, my other matchups were against Trap Tricks. Trap Tricks, I feel like it's like really, really easy for us, but like I did actually I think like I had Feather Duster and 3 Cosmic Cyclones inside of the extra deck. Mostly those were for anti-spell fragrance. But I felt like our matchup against Trap Tricks is really, really good. Like when you go first against them. But actually, let me not say that because I did play going second. I did play going second heroes. So I want to talk. Like going from a going second perspective. So going against Trap Tricks, I felt like I was gonna win if I got DPE out there or if I drew the evenly match. Like I did main deck 3 evenly match. Like I don't think I played it like the entire tournament. Like that's crazy. Like I played 3 of them, never had the chance to play it, and yeah, so like in that matchup, DPE was the one who really put in work. I think like the main thing to remember when going against the trap tricks with the heroes, remember Stratos has the effect to pop stuff. Go ahead and force out all the trap cards that you can. I think there was one game where I hit him with the Fusion Destiny. I brought out the Mally, brought out the Denier, then summoned the Stratos on him. And it was like not target 3, but effect to blow up back row. And it was like 3 of them because they usually like wait till you like hit them with Sunrise, to hit you with the floodgates and all that stuff. And yeah, I think there was like another game where they opened up with the what is it, Trap Tricks Particular or whatever her name is, the one that can snatch stuff up out your graveyard. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, I just steal DPEs and stuff. Well, I baited it out by going basically I would summon Vion, use Vion to send Shadow Mist, and because it's the only hero in the graveyard, a lot of them are just tempted to go ahead and grab that so you can't grab the poly. And in the instances when they won't do it, you get the Shadow Mist effect, you go ahead and grab your what's his name, Graceful Charity, grab your E-Hero Graceful Charity, banish the Shadow Mist, add the poly, and then just make Ab Zero on the ass, and blow up the Sarah, blow up the Rafflesia, whatever and stuff, and that's just it for them. So yeah, so they had no choice but to kind of really stop the Shadow Mist, and then DPE just puts in work against decks like that. As soon as they bring out a Trap Tricks monster, pop it so they can't do no special summoning, or anything like that with it. Force them to have the field spell and be able to have an additional Trap Tricks monster to normal summon too. But yeah, all my Trap Tricks matchups were pretty easy. I don't think I've lost 2 Trap Tricks with my hero deck, and like ever since that deck's been out. Like it's just Trap Tricks is just easy for heroes. So my other 2 wins were against Kashtira. Like nobody played into Nib, which I'm glad. Like going and deciding to play the going second hero deck, I did not play Nib off in there. No copies of Nib at all. I decided to go with Board Breakers. I want to say I played like 3 Book of Eclipse. I played 3 evenly matched, and then I played 3 of the Triple Talents Thrust, which was an amazing card. Like that was like okay. So let me talk about the Kashtira matches first of all. So they were all on a Rise Heart pass. So going into it, I was thinking like there aren't a lot of ways for me to out it. I probably should have had kaijus inside of my deck, to be a bit more prepared for the Rise Heart, pass thing. But, I think like luckily, and I think like a lot of people were also using Book of Moon, which might actually be, I don't know, Book of Moon and kaiju is kind of, I feel like the kaiju would probably be better because since I was playing a going second deck, that way the kaiju doesn't worry about, Lance or whatever. And yeah, so yeah, those matchups, the Rise Heart Pass, I felt like, if I didn't draw a Book of Eclipse, like the other thing to do was just to sacrifice one of my DPEs to pop it if I had the Fusion Destiny play. And, one of the other things was when I have a hero lives, like one of the plays I had to do to get rid of it one game was a hero lives into Stratos, and then use Stratos' effect to grab my other Stratos, normal summon that Stratos, and then use that Stratos to go ahead and get my elemental hero Honest Neos, and then enter into battle phase, attack with one, they're forced to banish it, attack with the second one, drop the Honest Neos because it doesn't have to go to the graveyard in order for them to get the boost, and you deal with the Rise Heart, and then you just kind of go from there. So yeah, that was kind of like my Rise Heart, thing. Like there was one game where I didn't realize that if they have the Infinitrack monster up under there, like I didn't read it, but he had banished it off of Pot of Prosperity and put it up under there, and then I tried to DPE pop it, but it can't be destroyed by card effects where they had that Infinitrack monster up under there. So yeah, that was an epic fail. I think I did lose that game, but I proceeded, to win the match later on. Like Ash on the field spell, and he just didn't have like a recovery thing for it, but yeah. So I won my 2 Kashtira matchups, when they go a Rise Heart Pass, you just gotta kind of have the out for it, and then yeah. So never drew the evenly matched like the entire tournament. I don't ever remember drawing that. Cosmic Cyclone did come in clutch a couple times, and then like probably like the MVP of going second was Triple Talents Thrust. Playing 3 Fusion Destinies inside of your deck is just crazy. Fusion Destiny is it's such a good card, like because it brings out DPE and you can get plasma at the same time. So like most of the time when I was playing against Trap Tricks, bait out their stuff, they would do something, stop my volume from going off or stop my Ferris or something like that. Hit them with the triple Talix thrust, hit them with the Fusion Destiny, get out DPE, pop something, force them to do some more stuff, and then hit them with the plasma and, absorb whatever they got left on the board and just go from there, man. Fusion Destiny, playing 3 copies of Fusion Destiny was just like absolutely crazy. Like it made my matches so much easier to win. Like I feel like even if you don't play going second, even if you're not playing going second heroes, inside of your side deck, for when you are going to be going second, you should definitely play Triple Talents Thrust. That card is so good. And I want to say it was the video by Hakuna Matata or whatever, he put out that going second hero list. So, that my list was kind of a little bit inspired by that list, and like I looked at his options and everything and stuff. So, my build was kind of similar. And I know it's kind of weird to, change all of a sudden and play going second deck, but like looking at the meta and looking at everything the way it was going in, it was kind of like Nib was like fading out of the meta because the Rise Heart Pass thing, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get Kaiju'd and Lava Golemed all day if I play going first heroes. So, I just didn't want to deal with that. Like, I feel like I would rather get Nibbed than I would rather get Kaiju because, like Nib, now we have the option with DPE and wake up your elemental hero. Some people are playing a double plasma, so you can still have DPE plasma or you can have Dark Law DPE, which is basically like what a Rise Heart is, right? When you go DPE, Dark Law is basically like a Rise Heart on the board, except it takes us 2 monsters to have their 1. And yeah, so I felt like I didn't want to get Kaiju'd and Lava Golemed all day, so I decided to play going second. And, I felt like it was a good call. In the next video, I'm going to talk about my losses and why those ended up being losses. Overall, I felt like really, really confident going into the tournament. I felt really good. I felt like all my matchups were, I think like throughout the day, I think there were only like 2 games that were just like unwinnable for me. Like, whether I went first or second, there was only like 2 games that were just unplayable, like not unplayable, but like unwinnable. Like I was just, no matter what I did, I just couldn't get into a position to be able to win the game. So yeah, only 2 matches, well, let me not say 2 matches, 2 games out of the 8 rounds that I played that I felt like I was gonna, just lose. So we'll talk about the ones that I lost in the next video. This one I wanted to talk about the positive things. Yeah, 6 Fusion Destiny is crazy. Evenly matched. I want to say it's really good, but I never drew it. But what else is there? I don't think there's really like too much else, to talk about as far as like the good things go. I feel like, a lot of the meta is Trap Tricks, and we have such an easy matchup against that. The hardest thing is definitely a Rise Heart Pass because, just like a lot of other decks, they get Dark Lawed and just kind of lose the game. We're kind of almost in that same position because we want like our Destiny heroes in the graveyard. We want our Shadow Mist to go to the graveyard. You need a elemental hero, or you need a hero to banish for Vion's effect to get that poly, and you just don't want your stuff banished like that. So, I think there was one game where I had the Fusion Destiny and I like sent out my Honest Neos and my Plasma because like I didn't want to lose the Nair and Mally to the Arise Heart thing, which was a smart choice because then the following turn when I had hand traps to be able to stop him, I was able to get to the Nair and Mally in the next turn and make sure that I was able to finish off that game. So yeah, the other thing, Book of Eclipse was really good all day. Like, I don't think it got ashed not one single time. No, it got ashed one time, and I did end up losing that game. But there's another reason why I lost that game. We'll talk about that. So, Book of Eclipse was really, really good. Let me see. Was there anything else? Like, one of the things I did regret is that I did make it to where, like, okay, say for instance I won the dice roll, and I let my opponent go first. I made them feel like I was really going second, but my side deck made it to where I could go first also. Like I had Eradicator Epidemic Virus off inside of there. I had Dark Angel, of course, and I think that was like about it. Like if I decided to go first, I just wanted to be able to, Dark Angel or eradicate my opponent. I felt like those were the matchups where I would decide to go first, like against Kashtira, putting a Dark Angel on their side of the board. Also against Branded Despia, I would choose to go first, put a Dark Angel out there. And I felt like, it's a pretty solid strategy because, like, especially like when I won the dice roll and my opponent's like, oh, he's on a going second deck. So, they're always siding for going first. And, it happened like 2 times. They're like, man, I thought you were going to make me go second again. And yeah, they had all these going first cards off in there, like not too many, not enough going second cards, and I was able, to snatch up, easy victories like that. One of the things I do regret not having inside my side deck was D Barrier. D Barrier is definitely a powerful card. It definitely should have been inside my side deck. It was not in there, and yeah, that was probably like one of the most regrettable things. I think like as far as Eradicator Epidemic Virus goes, like I never drew it, even though I believe I had 2 of them off in there, and yeah, I just never got to it. The games where I sided it in, I'm pretty sure I still won those games, but I just never, got to see like how impactful it would be in the games that I played. Like I sided it in against, Branded Despia, hit those spells. I sided it in against Trap Tricks, go ahead and try to hit their stuff also. So yeah, but like overall, I felt like going second. There was nothing bad about it. There was never any board that my opponent set up to where I was like, dang, there's just like absolutely nothing that I can do here. It just felt like I always drew like at least 1 or 2 going second cards. I also played hand traps because I had the imperms off in there. So, imperm was actually like another thing that I needed against the Rise Heart pass. It's just like when it comes to my, let them do all their little stuff. And then when it comes to my turn, the Rise Heart just impermanent and continue to play out my turn. So, that was pretty crucial off inside of there. Like, I want to say I played like 3 Book of Eclipse, 2 imperm, 3 Ash, and 3 triple talents thrust, which, I want to say like I played a 44 card deck. I wish it could have been smaller, but for this tournament, I wanted to make sure that I had an extra increase. So I added in increase, I added in poly, and I added in an extra there was something else that I added in too because, or maybe it was just increase in poly because I want to say it like started off as like 41, 42 cards, and then I decided to add in a second increase and a second poly just to be sure. So yeah, there was one game where my Mally got randomly banished off the top 2. That kind of sucked, but it's gonna happen going against that deck. But overall, like I felt like in the games that I won, I played well. The deck did exactly what I wanted it to do. It functioned well, and yeah, it was just like a lot of fun and stuff. Hopefully I can find a video, to show y'all the vlog and everything, or hopefully I can find my camera to be able to get that vlog out for y'all. But yeah, so that'll be the discussion thing on the good. If y'all got any questions about how it went and everything, the good things, like just hit me up, let me know. Like I would definitely say the shining star was triple talents thrust going into Fusion Destiny because Fusion Destiny is probably our best card inside of the hero deck. Like hands down, Fusion Destiny is the best one. It's one card combo that brings out a floodgate and one of the best reoccurring monsters and throughout the entire game, to the point where he was like splashed into every deck because he was so good. And then you get basically a skill drain on top of that, and that's just that one card spell card. And when you play triple talents thrust, you get that 6, basically like 6 options to have Fusion Destiny. And then if you did draw Fusion Destiny, there were other cards I could go get, like Harpy's Feather Duster I put off in there. I put in 1 copy of Dark Hole, so it was almost like I was playing 4 copies of those cards also, because if I needed those, I was able to use triple talents thrust to go get them. But I don't think there was ever a game where I needed them where I had to use triple talents thrust to get something that wasn't Fusion Destiny. But yeah, so that is the good stuff from, the Houston Regional. Like I said, I had 5 games, 2 Trap Tricks, 2 Kashtira, and then the 1 Makonko deck, and it's just like everything played out, went well with it and everything. So coming up in the next discussion video, we will talk about the bad, how I ended up with my 3 losses, and yeah, like I was highly disappointed in myself. Not disappointed in my deck options and my, you know, my card choices, but it was more, it was gameplay errors. It was definitely a skill issue, you know, and we'll talk about that in the next video. I appreciate everybody for watching, and I will catch y'all on the next visual.
Messing with the masked hero, king of games. Mask off, now you see that a hero lives. I pay half and you ask, but I'm winning games. There ain't another hero that surpasses me.